to the continuous education that we do regularly. And today we have a very important topic about using ChatGPT to write a scientific paper. We have a distinguished speaker and moderator. Before I introduce the moderator, I would like to make an announcement that in order to have the certificate of attendance, you have to attend the whole webinar. And also at the end of the webinar, we have 3 questions will be presented as polls. So we ask you to answer the questions, and later we are going to choose winners, and the names and photos, if you allow us, it will be posted in social media. And also I would like to thank Dr. Kauthar for volunteering with us in this meeting. So without further delay, it's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished moderator, Dr. Dina Hassan. Dr. Dina, she is a supply chain analyst and health economic and outcome research liaison at Ain Shams University Hospital. She has a bachelor degree in pharmaceutical science from Faculty of Pharmacy in Cairo University and a clinical pharmacy diploma from Ain Shams University and a certificate as a pharmacotherapy specialist from the American Board of Pharmacy Specialists, as well as a Master of Business Administration in Health Economics from the Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Maritime Transport, and certification as a supply chain analyst from the International Supply Chain Education Alliance. So join me to welcome Dr. Adina, and the floor is yours, Dr. Adina.
Thank you, Dr. Nagwa, for this introduction. Greeting to all you dear panelists and attendees. Today we have an impressive topic. We can say it's the trend of today, and it's called the pros and cons of using ChatGPT to write a scientific paper. This topic is very interesting, and we hope that Dr. Mansour will give it us in a nutshell. Let's just introduce our eminent speaker, Dr. Mansour. Dr. Mansour is currently working as an associate professor at the Department of Clinical and Hospital Pharmacy, College of Pharmacy, Taiba University. He has more than 10 years of experience in teaching, learning, and research. His areas of research interest are pharmacovigilance, clinical pharmacy practice, pharmacy education, and global health. Dr. Mansour has authored and co-authored more than 100 scientific articles published in international peer-reviewed journals, and he has also authored and co-authored 2 book chapters and 1 ebook. His current Google Scholar H index is 18 and I-10 index is 29, citation more than 11,000. I guess now it's more about the 1,200, right, Doctor?
1,200, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Mansour has served as an associate editor and lead a research topic about medication safety and intervention to reduce patient harm in low and middle income countries, which resulted in the collection of 19 manuscripts published in Frontier in Pharmacology. That's actually a very impressive resume, Dr. Mansour. We are glad to be with you today. May I remind you all dears, you can submit your questions in the Q&A section, and Dr. Mansour will answer them at the end of the session. And without further delay, I will leave the floor for you. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dina. Thank you very much, Dr. Najwa. And thank you very much for all the attendees of today. Dr. Dina, can you allow me to share my slides, please?
Dr. Akauti?
Yeah, please.
Yes, you can share it now, Doctor.
Okay. Okay. I hope my slides are clear to everyone.
Yes, Doctor, crystal clear.
All right, thank you very much again. And Thank you for joining our webinar today, and I'm happy to join the global healthcare activities today to talk about the pros and cons of using ChatGPT to write scientific paper. Actually, as Dr. Dina mentioned, this is the trend. Today, everybody is talking about ChatGPT, and actually, it's very important for academician or for researchers, because it plays a very big role in scientific writing. So that's why I thought of presenting this topic today. Actually, previously when I talked to Dr. Najwa, I was about to present another topic about research, but when I come across the ChatGPT, I thought, why not talk about ChatGPT and how it can help us write our papers. And because ChatGPT has pros and cons, so our title was the pros and cons of ChatGPT, and our learning objective is, first of all, we will see, or we will know what is ChatGPT. So we will define what is ChatGPT. I'm sure many people have already heard about ChatGPT, and also maybe some people, they haven't heard about it, or they hear about it, but they didn't have the experience of using it, or maybe interacting with it. So we will define what is ChatGPT, then we talk about the pros, then we will talk about the cons, and finally we will talk about how to use ChatGPT effectively in the context of scientific writing and writing a manuscript for journal publication, because our ultimate goal is to publish our research. And I'm very happy that nowadays many people are trying to publish their manuscripts, and the number of publications has already increased in the Middle East, especially. So it's good to find the new technologies, especially the AI, that can help us do our job better. So what is ChatGPT? Okay, ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence language model with a chat box. It's as simple as that. This blue square here, this is the first page of ChatGPT. So when you see the first page, they have already given you the limitations, the capabilities, and examples on how to use ChatGPT and how to ask questions to ChatGPT. So they have already listed the limitation. It may occasionally generate incorrect information. It may occasionally produce harmful instruction or biased content, limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. So they are trying to tell us that it has several limitations. So, and then they have already listed 3 capabilities, 3 points, which is very useful, because one of it is, remember what user said earlier. So if you start searching on ChatGPT, when you come the next time to search about other topics, so the topics that you have already searched about, it's already there in the chat box. You can actually make a follow-up on the same question. For example, let's say you copied and pasted a sentence, and you want ChatGPT to rewrite this sentence. So ChatGPT will rewrite it, and then if you don't like the sentence that has been written by ChatGPT, you can again ask ChatGPT to rewrite it. So ChatGPT will remember the previous question. And in the examples here, we can see like 3 examples, and this is how you ask ChatGPT. Let's say, let's see the example number 2. Got any creative idea for a 10-year-old birthday? So ChatGPT is there to help you with anything. You can ask them even a personal question, they will give you an answer. So for this question, ChatGPT can give you creative ideas on how to celebrate a 10-year-old baby birthday. So believe me, it's very helpful. So now let's talk about the pros of ChatGPT. So I categorize the pros of ChatGPT into 2 categories. One is the general support that ChatGPT can give us. The second one is the writing support. And then some recommendation from an international publisher, which is LCV, that I think everybody is aware about. So the general support, how can ChatGPT help us? Generally, ChatGPT is faster it has a faster access to information. So any question you ask, you will get the answer in a second. So you get a detailed answer, and you can actually see where while ChatGPT is typing the answer. A wider range of topics. So you can ask about anything in this world, and ChatGPT will reply to your answer within a few seconds. It can act as a supplementary resource. So ChatGPT is your assistant. It's your research assistant. So you can always ask ChatGPT. You can always get support from ChatGPT. Can support a quick search. So if you like, for example, you have a presentation today and you are short of time, in a short of time, so you can always use ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will give you all the suggestions, and you can always refine and revise and prepare your slides in few minutes. Writing support, ChatGPT, one of the pros of ChatGPT is that, as I said, it will really support our writing. Because as researchers, we know that to start writing is not an easy task. It's very difficult, and we all have this writer's block. We always want to write our manuscript. We have already completed our experiment, but we delay the writing because we are busy with many other things. So with ChatGPT, believe me, you will overcome this writer block. ChatGPT can also accelerate the writing process. So if you start writing, and if you start using ChatGPT in the right way, your writing speed will be very quick. If you used to write a manuscript in 3 months, using ChatGPT, you may finish your manuscript in 1 week. But given that you know how to use ChatGPT, ChatGPT can assist in generating ideas for research and some topics or hypotheses. For example, if you're writing a paragraph or writing an introduction for your manuscript, or more, better example is when you're writing your discussion. We're discussing your results. Sometimes we write our discussion, but we feel that we are not convinced with what we have written, and we are always worried that we have missed some areas, or there is some gap in our discussion. So ChatGPT, when you ask ChatGPT a question, ChatGPT will elaborate more on the question, and it may remind you of things that you have already missed. So you can actually rewrite and search and correct your discussion, or improve the manuscript of the discussion that you have already written. ChatGPT can also help in summarizing large amounts of information. Let's say, for example, you have a very long article and you really want to read this full article, but you don't have time, but you want to know the key message from this long article, which is in your area of interest. So you can easily ask ChatGPT to summarize. So it is very easy. You just copy and paste, but before you copy and paste, just write summarize, then put a dot or hyphen, and ChatGPT will summarize the article. And you can actually ask ChatGPT, please summarize this article in 5 points, in 10 points, in 3 points. So ChatGPT will actually summarize the whole article in 3 main points. But again, your job is to review to make sure that this is what you really want. Okay? And ChatGPT can also assist in proofreading. So actually, ChatGPT did a very great job as far as my experience in proofreading, editing, and actually rewriting the content that you give ChatGPT. But here we have to be very careful. We don't have to like copy and paste the whole article. No, you have to do it like one by one, like paragraph by paragraph, and then read what ChatGPT has rewritten. And if you are not convinced, ask ChatGPT to rewrite again try to have like 2 to 3 versions of your paragraph rewritten, and maybe you can choose the right one, or you choose the best rewritten material. Because from my experience, I can see that when you ask ChatGPT for the first time to rewrite a paragraph, it will give you a very wonderful rewritten paragraph. But when you ask again and again and again, so when you like after 3 times, it seems that this is the maximum that it can do, or this is the maximum that the paragraph can be rewritten. So you may end up getting irrelevant results. So this is where you stop asking ChatGPT to rewrite and choose from what ChatGPT has already given to you. The international literature, the publishers, the journal editors are worried about ChatGPT. Some of them are worried, some of them are really optimistic, and they feel that yes, this AI technology will help researchers and will help scientists. So that's why many editors start to write in a big journals and very high impact journals like Nature, like BMJ, and like the Lancet. People and editors start to write about the role of artificial intelligence in scientific writing. And at the same time, also the publisher like Elsevier, they have a recommendation on how to use artificial intelligence, the AI, because this is a very important question for the scientists. Do we really need to use AI or not? So Elsevier said they have like 4 points on using AI. So they said you can use it to improve the readability and language. And this is, I agree with this recommendation because it's very helpful. Use it under human oversight. This is 100% right, because as I said, we have to double check what ChatGPT has written for us. Do not list AI as an author. This recommendation, number 3, because in the previous, like maybe previous month or in January, I saw one article where they have used ChatGPT and they listed ChatGPT as an author. So the recommendation is we don't have to use ChatGPT. We don't have to mention ChatGPT as an author, but we need to disclose the use of any AI or AI-assisted technology in the manuscript. So Elsevier is recommending that if you use ChatGPT while writing your manuscript in any way, please disclose and give acknowledgement to ChatGPT. But I don't actually agree 100% with this, because I think with time, this will be the trend. This will be the normal use of Google. For example, we always use Google, we use PubMed, but we never acknowledge them. So I don't think the third or the last recommendation is 100% valid in my opinion. And here is comparing Google with ChatGPT. Actually, ChatGPT is very different than Google. Google will give us the search that we ask for. It will give us a PDF. It will give us a full-length article, but it will not give us a summary of what we ask. So ChatGPT is very different. It's user-friendly. The answer is made for you. So it's not like Google. Google will suggest several things, and you have to do a lot of search to make use of what Google has given you. But also, ChatGPT is different from Google because Google will give us the text, will give us a full article, but in ChatGPT we cannot search for articles. Now we start talking about the cons of using ChatGPT. Of course, one of the big problems that we face, especially the junior scientists or junior authors, is plagiarism. And also at the same time, English is not our first language, so we may face this problem. So the cons of ChatGPT, maybe it will have plagiarism in any way, tamam? But now Turnitin is a program that we have already used before to use for plagiarism. Turnitin is again announced an AI artificial intelligence detection tool, and they said that this tool identified 97% of ChatGPT authored writing. So if you use ChatGPT without modification, Turnitin will detect that this paragraph or this manuscript or this content was written by ChatGPT, and it can actually give you the percentage of ChatGPT authored writing. However, we don't have more information because this technology or this program is still under development, and it will be released or it will be available by next month, which is April 2023. Other concepts of ChatGPT, it has a limited accuracy. It has limited accuracy. So this limited accuracy, we can actually overcome this by checking and reviewing and editing. So it is one of the cons that we have to be aware of to overcome it. The context will be lacking a lacking factor because ChatGPT is an AI program. It doesn't know the context of your writing. You know better than ChatGPT. So that's why ChatGPT is there just to help you in what you know. So you know better than ChatGPT. So ChatGPT doesn't know the context. It may give you result which is out of your context. It may give you result which is incorrect because you have already given ChatGPT a wrong question. So if you ask the wrong question, or if you didn't ask, or if you didn't ask the right question, so ChatGPT will give you a wrong answer. Also, the critical thinking is not the job of ChatGPT. So you have to do the critical thinking, you have to check the accuracy, and you should know your context. The originality will be absent. Yeah, this is one of the cons, because if 3 people ask ChatGPT the same question, so the answer will be the same. So if 3 people are doing the same thing at the same time, they will get the same result, and this will affect the originality. So you always have a job to do. One of the cons of ChatGPT is also ChatGPT may be biased in their answer, so you need to assess the answer. It has a limited or no access in some countries, and this is very true. An example is here in Saudi Arabia, we don't have access so far, but I'm sure within limited time we will have access. But there are other ways that you can have access. Actually, for example, if you go to Telegram, they have a channel there with ChatGPT. You can actually use ChatGPT there, but it is very limited, maybe for I think about 3 questions. So you can actually ask 3 questions in one day. So it's not practical, but I'm sure we will have a full access to ChatGPT very soon. It has a limited knowledge of world and event after 2021, so it's a little bit outdated. So we have to be very careful, because from my experience, when I asked ChatGPT about one of the questions that I was looking for, it's actually a scientific question. So all the reference that it has given me, it's quite outdated. I think the most recent reference was 2018. So we have to be very careful with updating the references. Now, as a conclusion, we have to know how to use ChatGPT effectively. As we said, ChatGPT is very effective. It's very useful, and it has some limitations. The limitation is good to know so that we can overcome. Okay, but talking about the context of manuscript writing, I think any scientist or any researchers will have a template before they write their manuscript. So one of the good examples, there are many ways to do it, but according to my experience, I think the best thing is to have your template and write the article in your own way. because before ChatGPT, we were writing papers. So do whatever you used to do before ChatGPT. Finish your manuscript, or at least finish, let's say, the introduction, and then go to ChatGPT. Because in your introduction, for example, your template is you have a 4 paragraph, and let's say you are talking about patient safety, and your first paragraph in the introduction is talking about the patient safety as a big umbrella in general, like the definition of patient safety, the prevalence of medication errors, medical errors, and adverse drug reaction, or adverse drug event in globally. And then you want to talk about this prevalence in your country, okay? And then in the last sentence, you want to have a conclusion of what you have written. So this is your first paragraph. If you want, you have already written this first paragraph. If you want ChatGPT to help you, take this paragraph and ask ChatGPT to rewrite this paragraph and paraphrase this paragraph, and ask ChatGPT several times, at least 3 times, and get the best version of the rewritten paragraph, and then read it, review it, and then you can actually use it, and do the same to all the paragraphs that you have in your manuscript. But be very careful, because in point number 3 we have the answer depends on your question. So be very specific in your question. So when you ask ChatGPT, be very specific what you want ChatGPT to answer or to give you. Let's say in this example, you can actually ask ChatGPT to write a first general paragraph about patient safety, and then compare what you have written with what ChatGPT has written. Maybe ChatGPT will generate new ideas, or will identify some gaps in what you have written, so you can use that and improve your writing. So there are many ways to use ChatGPT. There are many ways to use ChatGPT effectively, and many ways to make a good use of ChatGPT. This is just one example, and I hope we understand that. And I was actually hoping that I can use ChatGPT live in this presentation, but the subscription that I had, unfortunately, today I couldn't log in. So hopefully we will have access to ChatGPT, and we will use it. And actually, ChatGPT now they have a new version from last week, which is ChatGPT 4, and it's a very well improved version of ChatGPT, and it has many functions more than what we have in the previous ChatGPT. Thank you very much, and I think I have finished on time, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mansour. It was a very insightful and fruitful presentation. You made things clearer in